Hi there, and welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre. Yeah, I'm a I'm a little bit late, but I'm actually on the right time with this as well. I trust you've all had a very good weekend, and those of us in Cambo land, where I am, have had a very good 3 days off. Yes, and I spent 3 days in a place called Sim Reap. Just R&R, rest and relax, no temple run, no zip lining, all that wonderful stuff not been done as such. We'll go back for the adventure, just went for the relax, and heaven knows I got there Wednesday night, and whoa, the president is having a live speech. So I suddenly decided to stream that in the middle of the night, and the wife was not too kind on my holiday activities. So when I got to suddenly seeing the absolute, I don't even want to go to I'm trying to find a word so that I don't actually put myself in a corner, but the Fairview horse incident. It just sounds like a placid fairy tale when I say that. The Fairview horse incident is actually a freaking, I don't want to say massacre, but a bloodbath, because there was blood. It was savages. It was, well, when I actually saw it and heard about it, I was beside myself. And I was like, I am making a stream right away. And it would have sounded like Morse code if I actually had to bleep myself out. And my wife said, no, we're on holiday. You're a man in the street. You'll tell them afterwards when you've seen the stories and the reporting and that. And yeah, it's a good thing she did, because I would have happily just probably had an emotional breakdown of cursing in that stream. But yeah, once again, I will put in the notifications. This is, by the way, preaching to an audience of 0, my first live stream. So I intend, and I'm about 15-20 minutes late anyway on it as well. So I haven't advertised it. I haven't put it out. It is the maiden voyage. And I'm looking forward to doing it every Sunday. South African time would be 2 o'clock, Cambodian time 7 o'clock, and to run for an hour, basically running with Pepper's Echo. Anything from the man in the street looking from outside inwards. Whether it be your political game, whether it be your sport game, whether it be your movie review, whether it be where you like to go, what you do, how to do, different points of view. I'm also going to be doing the Pepper's Echo show for the next few weeks, probably live with a gentleman by the name of Nelius. And we are going to look at subjects which we're open to change, we're open to input. We are not going to say this is our mindset, but this is our opinion as everyday men in the street looking in. And we're going to have a little discussion and a chat. And you know what? If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's not a problem. But bring it in. Let's take a look, see. Maybe you change our minds. Maybe you change our views. As I said, the big guns that I watch on political analysis and that I like to see, and I get my view from there as well, is the likes of Ronaldo Gous. Take a look at him. He's really, really good. He live streams currently every evening, SA time, 8 o'clock. If you're feeling brave enough in Cambodia, you can get up at 1 a.m. in the morning. I know if you're watching 8 o'clock tonight in SA, 1 a.m. in the morning, Cambodia time, Ronaldo Gous will be hosting Steve Hofmeyer as a guest there. Really interesting. Got some good points there as well. So I'll link him in the bottom there too. Roman Kabanak, morning shot. Really, really good. He has a quick pre-recorded morning shot. I think it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I usually watch it when I get back from work. And then in the afternoons, he usually has a wind down where he has a guest as well. Also, very, very good to look at. Excellent point of view. And then I also have a Chris Wyatt that I take a look at. He's from the States, but retired Army Colonel, been all over the world, has an immense knowledge on South Africa and covers most of what's there. Also very level-headed, stable. Sometimes takes my emotion to bring it back in again and go, whoa, 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 Andre, where are you going with this? And yeah, pretty cool. But if you do have anything, to just do drop me a mail. Then there is Germ. That's the other chap. Germ Warfare, Battle of Ideas. He has some really, really good guests. He has some really, really good points, and some of them go, ooh, I didn't think of that. So yeah, I enjoyed that as well. Hence the reason I practically don't own TV, because these are the guys I watch. Lastly, there is also Joe Emilio. Sorry, Joe. The Joe Show also has really, really interesting guests and some good points to go along. But I pick up the scraps as I go along, and I give it to you from what I'm looking at as a man in the street. Now, I don't want to say, I'm careful about saying uneducated man in the street, but it's the opinion of an everyday man, because I don't think every day we are researching Parliament, we are researching gazettes, we are looking at the news, we are looking at what news doesn't bring us, and we are looking at what's happening. What's going on in our minds? Is it this like very highly learned, researched situation? Or is it something that we look flat in the face and go, WTF? So that's why I'd like to look at a different opinion. And Elias and I will be chatting. We'll be having nice chats about the old South African flag. How beautiful is it? Is it? Isn't it? Should it be banned? Should it? Let's take a look at the national anthem. How painful is that? Should it be put together? Should it be one side? Should it be new? Should it be rewritten? What language does it get rewritten? Death sentence. You begging for the death sentence. Careful for what you wish for. We're going to take a look at that. The old South Africa. How many people are going, oh, I want to go back to the old South Africa? And then we end up saying, why do you want to go back to apartheid? Is it apartheid we want to go back to? I don't know. Watch the show to actually get a little bit of answering and chatting on it. We want to take a look at tourism in South Africa. I'm in a country where tourism is encouraged locally and charged internationally. South Africa, why are you banning or putting a huge stumbling block, an expense stumbling block in your locals' way when it comes to tourism? Gun ownership. Now, I am far from educated on gun ownership, so it's basically between the two of us going to be an opinion on gun ownership. But the correct one is Paratus, I think. I nearly forgot. I have seen him a few times. I really, really need to get to see him some more times as well. He's the best on gun ownership. We're going to take a look at that. Death penalty, farm murders, retail customers who have given us, and I spent a good 30 years in retail, about 5, 6, 7 years in the hotel business. Before Tide of Life, South Africa chewed me up, spat me out and said, got nothing more for you, buddy. You're male, you're white, and you're out. So, and it happened to be good. I miss it. I never had the chance to do what I can do in South Africa now. This is what I do now. And we're looking at retail customers. Who did we get? The man in the street who had the worst attitude, the most vile temper, walked all over anybody, was happy to drag you through the dirt, to tell you your fortune, was greedy, gutless. Which demographic do you think was the worst? We'll be chatting about that as well. Racism, is it class or culture? We want to take a look at why name change? talking about that. How do we feel about name change? Cities, streets, SA lockdown. How hectic has it been? Has it been necessary? What does the man in the street look at? Quotas in sport, SA rugby, SA cricket. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, for you knelt down. What about history, statues, places like that get pulled down to put up what? One martyr for another? Everything that we want to talk about as we go forward. But I hope you would join us in our chats, and we'll looking forward to having you in our homes and in our conversations. And we'll try, we'll keep a email open, and we'll try and open up a Telegram line and a WhatsApp line as well, so you can put voicemails, you can put messages down together. That would be really, really cool. But getting back to my absolute, utter disgust that I've had to deal with, I was trashed. And that's not from alcohol either. I'm a little bit better at the moment. It's, you know what, I've become South African. Numb to shit. Numb to shit. Because let's take a look. And I really needed to take a look at some pictures. One Twitter remark. Need I say more? Fairview horse murders. I'm just throwing the other side of the coin in there, but it is fucking believable that you can even condone this or try to justify it. You have double standards. You killed animals for trophies and published those pics in magazines, and it's normal white culture. Race card, Vladimir. It's just normal. Your kind has killed and still killing animals for sport, and it's never barbaric as your superior beings. Judgment Day will come. Who's your kind? Who's white culture? As far as I'm concerned, all cultures have been hunting animals throughout history. Some for food, some to prove their manliness or whatever. But tribes, hunters, trophy hunters, overseas, different nations and nationalities, my friend, doesn't justify thuggish savagery. Mark the Doorman, thoroughbred. Sorry, the photo's not that great at all. It is off Twitter as well. Mark the Doorman is a thoroughbred horse born in South Africa in 2015. So basically he's 5 years old. Nice racehorse. Mark the Doorman is by Trippy USA out of Dancing, Judy SAF, trained by Yvette Bremner. Mark the Doorman form is available. Ownership is Messrs. F.H. McGrath and A.J. van Hasteen. Here's all the pedigrees and everything. I'm not going to go through whatever. Mark the Doorman, beautiful horse lying dead. So I'm going to just zoom into this pic over here a little. I want to show you something on that pic there. There's a Kerry lying next to him there. There's rope around his neck. Now, I am trying not to actually utter foul words in this one, but for fuck's sakes, we have a snowflake on Twitter, and she refers to everyone as a snowflake, especially if you block her. That murder of the horses, and that was a big lie, and a horse ran into a wall and broke its neck. Here's the other picture of the doorman. Yes, there's a fence close by. What makes a thoroughbred racehorse? A thoroughbred racehorse who knows what it's doing when it's running. There's the rope around its neck. No curious. You can see it's been beaten as well. What makes him first run into a fence? The only thing that make you run into a fence is absolutely fear. Fear for your own life. Okay? No, I don't think he's stupid enough to actually kill himself like that. I don't think it has the force. It would have to be a very, very specific way. I do believe that this is the result of thugs. Absolute thugs. Really. There was no stabbing. There was no malicious, facetious damage to horses. What is that? A scratch? Justified? Innocent? Defenseless? Animal? I think the animals here are the thugs that came after these horses. Here's a little around the other way so that some fairies and snowflakes love racing. Broad out thing says, has been contacted by a reliable source who is based at Fairview who wishes to remain anonymous. They were witness to all the events that transpired at the Fairview Training Center this morning. They would like to set the record straight about what happened to the horses. A large number of horses were set loose by the protesters, and once they were chased out of the fenced training center area, they ran loose in the unfenced area surrounding a racecourse. You know, it makes it almost sound like we put them out to pasture. We were just letting loose your animals. Anyway, unfortunately, one loose horse jumped a fence in a panic and hit a wall. Now, why the hell was that horse panicking in the first place? And hit a wall. The horse broke its neck on impact and died. Don't believe you. Sorry. Don't believe you. The cause of death was later confirmed by a veterinary surgeon. No protesters were directly involved in the death of this horse. Once again, don't believe you. You're lying. That's an absolute bullshit story. Unfortunately, some horses sustained some non-life-threatening injuries while running loose. I just need to go back to this. Sorry, I just want to go to this non-life-threatening injury there. Your stomach's nearly ripped out. Don't worry, it's just a scratch. Fuck you. Sorry, I'm just really, really tense when it gets to animals. Unfortunately, some horses sustain some non-life-threatening injuries while running loose. Some of those horses have abrasions and cuts needing veterinary treatment. One filly has a very serious wound. Okay, now, non-life-threatening and very serious. Put that into one bloody sentence for me and tell me that makes sense. Okay, sorry. Which had been attended to a vet. The cause of this wound is not known. Stupid. But it's more than likely occurred while running loose in the felt area around the racecourse. I'm sure the racecourse, which owns very expensive horses or stables them for owners, has sharp objects that are standing around and lying around so that the horses may cut themselves when they are running around, because That's how much they care. Rubbish. Thugs. All loose horses have now been caught and accounted for. The microchips have been scanned and checked. Please take note of the following important facts, as there has been a lot of misinformation regarding what happened today, the 17th of September. Okay. This is absolute cover-ups. I cannot believe the nonsense and the bullshit, and I cannot believe Snowflake. Yeah, you. You know what? Even being opposite and swinging as left and as woke and whatever you want to call it that you are. I always thought at least you had some intelligence. You're dropping my thought of you. But anyway, that's for you, for free. Only one horse died as a result of a broken neck from an impact with a wall while running loose. It was not slashed to death with pangas by the protesters. Lies. Lies. Only one. So one's okay. You can like pop in there and kill a horse. Because no, it didn't die from it. It didn't just jump up and go, I feel happy today. I think I'll run into a wall. I'll tie a rope around my neck and go lie down next to a knopkiri. Now, forget the crowd that's running after me. That is beating the horses, or beating the horses, my apologies, and attacking and traumatizing the horses. Veterinarians, you've said it yourself, had to come in and treat the wounded horses. Now, how do you suddenly have so many horses go and wound themselves? Please. Please. No horses have broken bones. No horses were doused in oil and burnt alive. I believe that. No horses have been euthanized at this point. At this point. You mean it's possible? This person's, and whoever's trying to believe this, really. There we go. Another wonderful little Twitter tidbit. We stand with those comrades from PE who murdered those horses. English translation for murd, beat those horses. Horses can never and should never be given better treatment than black people. It will never happen. Kill those stupid horses. I don't know. I'm almost of the opinion that this is a malicious post. I'm almost of the opinion that this is a malicious post because, and it is a troll post, it is a fraudulent post, because I don't think anybody, call me naive naive man in the street, but I don't think any human being person would make that kind of statement. Especially on Twitter, the person is able to operate Twitter, work on social media. I think somewhere along the line there's a little bit of foul play there. I don't think that this, and I think this is the concern of the fact that there is a little bit of foul play. They should not have killed the horses, but they should have killed every white motherfucker there. You understand? I think this is once again malicious. Be careful, guys. Be careful. It doesn't benefit. Doesn't benefit at all. Let's take a look if I can share just the Chrome tab. There we go. It's a little bit better. I am cautious, guys. Let me just put this aside for a second. I am cautious to the effect that even myself, I mean, I was unreasonably beside myself when I saw this, because look, I believe that a human being can defend himself, but an animal, I'm sorry. And let's actually switch to. It's actually, yeah. Let's listen. Let's listen what. Let's listen to what. And I'm sorry, I'm taking this, but it belongs to E News. I have not got any permission to air this from E News. None of this material belongs to me. None of this material is owned by me. None of this material is gaining me any form of monetary funding. I A, have not got enough viewers, and B, am not allowed to fund and cannot monetize any form of YouTube account from where I am. I'm purely using this because I find that the information that was put in here is pertinent to the subject that I'm speaking on, and have no ownership of this whatsoever.
A horse was allegedly slaughtered with pangas and other weapons as a protest over UIF non-payment rages. It's alleged the grooms who worked at the stables lost their jobs and were unhappy about not receiving UIF payments.
Sorry. Let me just sort this out again. Sorry, I didn't think I put in sound there.
With pangas and other weapons as a protest over UIF non-payment rages.
It's a group running after them.
Who worked at the stables lost their jobs and were unhappy about not receiving UIF payments. Reports suggest several horses have injuries, including broken legs, from trying to flee from fires. Details are sketchy, but reports suggest that police have made several arrests.
It's been an ongoing battle since the 7th of February when one of the grooms that were working for my life partner, Yvette Bremner, stabbed a racehorse. Then our grooms went on a solidarity thing with this guy and they refused to come to work. They left here on their own accord. The balance of our staff, 112 racehorses here. I didn't know what to do. I phoned up 20, 30 policemen here this morning. They could do nothing. They marched and smashed this place down and opened every box of the horses. They've hit them with knob carries in the mouth. They've stoned the horses in their stables.
Okay, that sadly is pretty disturbing, if I can say the least of it. Just the other one that I wanted to show you is why do you think horses were running and scared? Let's take a look. You know, we have so much denying, and so we're finding out, you know, we have like, oh, nothing much. There you heard the trainer or one of the owners or the life partner of the trainer telling you exactly what's happened. He says they opened the stables and beat them with knob carries and sticks. I think a horse just bolts. Yeah, a lot of horses might just bolt, but not like this. There's a crowd going horse hunting. Wow. Yeah. Not cool. Not cool at all. Let's take that down. Where were we? So, yeah, there's some more news. Top there. Following up from the horrific attacks that took place at Fairview Racecourse on Thursday morning. This is updated on the 17th as well. This is the Herald, if I'm not mistaken. But Sporting Post, sorry, my apologies, Herald. Following the horrific attacks that took place at Fairview Racecourse on Thursday morning, leading owner Hedley McGrath has issued a press release. McGrath states that he would like to set certain facts straight following many misleading statements on social media from various training yards. Okay, fair. You know what? Set it straight, but set it straight fairly. To all the detractors who think they are clever by spreading false stories about what happened at Fairview this morning, make sure you check your facts and tell the truth. I would like the owners of all the race horses that are currently stabled at Fairview with various trainers to know that it was not just Yvette Bremner's grooms who took part in the riots this morning. It was also the grooms from the other yards who were part of the attacking and rioting. So basically he's saying that it wasn't just one set of grooms, but he's not denying rioting and attacking. Are we fair with that? The same grooms who are employed to look after the horses were part of the riot. They need to ask themselves, how safe are their horses really? Okay, so instead of saying, hey, you've got an unsafe person there, it was a spread of people. So I think he's trying to also get away from the fear part of it. There are currently many false stories being spread, and I'm not sure what the purpose of the cover-up is. But this morning was one of the most barbaric, savage attacks ever seen, and pray to God we never see it again. So he's putting the story straight, but he's not denying barbaric, savage. You've heard the previous report. Beaten with knobkerries. Where do people come? You know what? I know Ronaldo has been accused of lying. Bullshit. The man's told nothing but the truth. Where's he lied? He's been telling the minimum amount that he's been able to get on, because he's obviously out with an ASA GT yesterday P. But people are denying that a horse was killed. They are denying that horses are being attacked. Scrapes, injured on their runaround after being chased out of the stables. No, I think not. The injury sustained by these horses was not simply from them being let out of their stables and chased. There, he stated that. Bam. Thank you. Charges were laid after police have ordered. Let's take a look at this one. Also headed as the Fairview horse slaughter. Sorry, I'm just posting these as we go along so that I can post them below for reference. A, because they need their credit, and B, because this is the sources. Fairview horse slaughter. Police open case against rioting grooms. The horses that were released on Thursday morning have all been rounded up. Many are receiving treatment for their injuries. Where do we come with they weren't hurt? Or where is it acceptable that don't worry guys, it's okay. Only one was killed, you dumb shit. One's not acceptable. Would you take a retarded kid, a mentally disabled child, or adult even, who can't think for themselves, who has a mind of a child, and beat it to death, or chase it around and traumatize it and beat it? Same thing. National Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals will lay charges against the mob responsible for slaughter and injury of horses at the Fairview Racecourse on Thursday, the 17th September, with police saying that all the horses have now been successfully rounded up, which we are aware of, despite the despicable acts have prompted the Democratic Alliance to insist that the group responsible are brought to book, and the racing community will also throw its weight behind any legal action taken. One horse killed in Fairview riot. Yeah, the police have confirmed that a group of 150 to 200 people. I hope we can read this. I don't know if I can try and make it a little bit bigger, if that would help. 150 to 200 people, many of whom are understood to be former employees of the racecourse, were fired in recent weeks for a previous act of cruelty towards one of the horses, descended on the racetrack at around about 6, well, I'm assuming a.m. Thursday morning, in a bid to protest their dismissal, as well as unemployment insurance fund related grievances. Scenes of the horror followed as panga-wielding members of the group assaulted and slashed at the horses and severely, injured others after releasing them from the stables. It's ridiculous. They were freed, forced out of the property by assaulting innocent, defenseless animals. And horses do not attack, they're placid. They'll kick you if you walk behind them and they're not used to having anything. But I'll kick you if you walk near my ass too. They report to be running in all directions with abusers taunting them with sticks and stones, said Naidu. One horse was found dead about a kilometer away in an opening near the houses. It is alleged that it was stabbed and assaulted. They're even sort of alleging that way. It was also found in an opening near the houses. Now, invisible walls in opening, guys? Really? Groom's dispute being monitored by race. The protest was initially initiated by the groom's former employee, by leading Port Elizabeth trainer Yvette Bremner. And it was her horse, Mark the Doorman, who was killed. And it was her horse, sorry. The Sporting Post reported that horse racing operator Pumelela is now engaging Department Labour to understand the dispute between Bremner and the grooms who retaliated at such a barbaric fashion. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of this. It will be linked there. DA calls for severe punishment. I am once again very, very, how should I say? Concerned once again at my government. One party is prepared to put their belt on the table and say, hey, I ask that this House stands with me and condemns the inhumane attack and killing of defenseless and innocent horses by cowardly thugs at Fairview Racetrack in Nelson Mandela Bay this morning. No matter your grievance, the barbaric killing of a horse is not acceptable. And there you saw it in the papers as well. One party stands up for this. And it's not my government. I have not heard my government. I have not heard my government on clicks. I have not heard my government on the EFF. I have not heard my government on the brutal murder, harassment, attacking of innocent, defenseless, poor animals because of own greed and resentment. One party speaks out. And if they can speak out for defenseless animals, and it sounds like a DA cliche. Hello, hello. Don't forget to vote DA. No, it's not. Every time I've looked at this, I've seen the DA prepared to put money where their mouth is. 17th of September, leading owner. Okay, we've gone through that one again. 34 horses injured. Let's take a look at this one. You can't read that. Here we go. A mob of approximately 150 to 200 protesters from Fairview Informal Settlement stormed onto the property of Fairview stables and freed about 28 horses early this morning. A total of 34 horses were injured and one killed when an angry mob of thugs savages, okay, they said protesters. I'll give it to you. Network 24. Posted that back there quick. They descended on the racetrack this morning. One of the owners of a few horses at the stable, Hedley McGrath, and partner of the owner, Yvette Brummer, described the incident as absolutely barbaric. Numb. We're almost numb to these words. Murder, barbaric, thug, racist, robbery, assault. According to McGrath, the whole situation started when a man who used to work there allegedly stabbed a horse called Calgary on February the 7th this year. He was dismissed after the legal procedures were followed. He went to the CCMA but lost his case, McGrath said. I've also read in other papers and that some of the grooms and that have said, hey, he was grooming it when he cut the horse by accident. I do not believe that they would take such harsh action if it wasn't an actual stab. Okay, so I don't believe that. I believe somehow I think the horse kicked him and he stabbed the horse, but yeah, doesn't matter what the horse did. He had no reason to come back to kill horses. He added that more than 40 workers left in solidarity after the incident. So he went to CCMA, lost the case at CCMA. So obviously they had a jolly decent, strong case. And then more than 40 workers left in solidarity after the incident 7 months ago. What has happened here is horrible. 28 horses in the barn, 12 were injured and 6 in barn. 12 were injured and 6 in barn 1. One horse is dead. These are all race horses, and there is not a single horse that doesn't have any injury. Ridiculous. McGrath said that a shocked Brummer couldn't bear to see all the pain that the horses were in and had to take her home earlier today. I need to get back to the police because things are crazy here. It's a sad day in Port Elizabeth and a sad day for the world. We have even received calls from Hong Kong about this matter, he added. Police spokesperson Colonel Priscilla Naidu said the mob, approximately 150 to 200 protesters from Fairview Informal Settlement, stormed onto the property of Fairview Stables and freed about 28 horses early this morning. According to the information on hand, at about 6 o'clock, police responded to a complaint. Angry protesters had entered and broken open the stables. The horses were free, forced out. They were reported to be running in all directions, with their abusers taunting them with sticks and stones. One horse was found dead about 1 kilometer away in an opening. Once again, I state opening. Near houses, it is alleged that it was stabbed and assaulted. All horses have been accounted for, and the injured horses are receiving treatment. At this stage, the exact reason for the protest and subsequent death, injury, or release of the horses is not known. Okay, I'm not going to go through any more of these. We've almost overstayed our welcome on this. Guys, I believe, and it's also, we can take a look at a little bit of Twitter there as well if we wanted to. It's pretty much. Yeah, people are very unhappy about that. Okay, once again, very, very good question. Where's the death penalty sentence? Bring back the death penalty sentence. Careful what you wish for. We will be discussing this at a little bit of length. And as much as what we would have liked the death penalty to be in, is it wise to bring it in? accident, traffic, information. Well, I don't want to harp on a thing. I think I've harped on it long enough. I think you might be tired of it already. Please like and subscribe. If you can help me get better, mail me. We can chat about almost anything, because Pepper's Echo is there to echo what the man in the street sees from the outside looking in. I'm not giving you any form of learned research. I'm giving you what I read and what I see as a normal man every single day. And the way I see this is a person was dismissed from their place of work. The person felt that it was unfair and therefore went to CCMA. The case was lost at CCMA, and apparently some colleagues left with as well, and decided to then claim their UIF. When their UIF did not pay out due to the fact that they had absconded, and the other person initially, because his case had been lost at CCMA, decided to take out their revenge on innocent, defenseless, beautiful animals, killing one and traumatically damaging, which is such a light word, others. I, for one, will tell you that I'm sure that the horse trainers or the people who work with horses and that, you know what, I have no right to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think they're probably very snooty, snobbish people. They might be the loveliest people under the sun, so please don't take my word on this. But even if I'm using probably a hypothetical, I want to say snooty, snobbish, I don't take anything from you, shoo and get off my land, and I don't want you working for me. And they can be nasty, and they can be bitchy, and they can be full of shit. Maybe she was the worst person to work for under the sun. Maybe she was an absolute Cruella de Vil. I'm not saying she is. I'm just using a hypothetical. A, gave you no right to stab the horse in the first place, even if the horse kicked you. B, gives you no right to come and wreak havoc and revenge on innocent creatures. Your mind cannot be right, which makes me concerned about the fact of the recovery of South Africa when our government has nothing to say about it. I have not seen anything. The only party that I have seen actually put their money where their mouth is the DA. Even if they've just acknowledged that they've seen it and put their point of view across, even if the ANC would just see it and put their point across and say, we do not agree with thugs and barbaric acts as such, savages. But no, I think they're still looking for 700 billion somewhere, trying to find excuses on that. Time for another story, that. But it doesn't matter how harsh, how snotty, how unbearable anybody is. It does not justify the action. So guys, for those of you who are claiming it's not that bad, it's not the truth, it is not right, stories are being spun. Here's my take as a man from the outside looking in, every day in the street. Somebody may be done wrong by, may be done wrong and kicked out, decided to wreak or take revenge, worked up buddies, and then took out revenge on innocent, defenseless animals, savagely and barbarically beating and cutting and eventually getting to kill one. I started off at the beginning. So what if there's hunters? So what if there's people who shoot canned lines? So what if there's people that go big game hunting? I never condoned that, did I? But none of that justifies these savages. And in my book, you can go to hell, buddy. Guys, don't forget next week. I know I've had beautiful 0 viewers, but hopefully you see this. And next week in SA, 2 o'clock, Cambodia, 7 o'clock, I'll be chatting with Nelius, and we will be addressing a couple of issues that just the ordinary man in the street likes to look and talk about, and we will be talking about it, and hopefully we'll be talking about it with you. Thank you very much for listening and watching this video as well. Please, if you can, like and subscribe. It would be most appreciated. If there's anything that you would like to add, not necessarily political, you might want to do a movie review, you might want to talk about place, travel, whatever, great experiences. You might have questions or you might have corrections. I'm not I'm not closed to fair criticism and correction. I stand to opening as well. Please post it on, there's the email address, Peppers Echo, PEPRS1P, and another E, at gmail.com. Pop it in there if you'd like to come on. I would be really, really chuffed to actually have you on and have a good chat with you. So from my side, thank you very much for listening. Be good. Take care. And as they say, if you can't be good, at least be kind. We'll see you again. Cheers.